Hi, you guys. I am the Runway Travelista, you guys, and we are back for another great topic, you guys. We are back at part 2, you guys, of the benefit of releasing anger and the role that it plays on total wellness and overall well-being. Okay, you guys? Yeah, okay, so we were at number 2. It says emotional release and mental clarity, okay? So it says holding on to anger often clouds our judgment and affects how we interact with others. Have you ever seen how people that are angry or irritable, how they have problems, just clouded problems, and not able to keep their thoughts together. They're quick to blow up. Okay, this is some of that anger that we're talking about. And I know that it happens for me as well, you guys. And this is something that we want to get to the point where we release a lot of that frustration and anger. Some of it, I do know that it's from the pressure, the weight, okay, that is on us, okay? Maybe to be strong, maybe to be perfect, and maybe blaming and guilt and shame that we feel, okay? We feel a lot of emotions, okay? And that's another thing that we can rise above emotions and it rise above that anger, okay? We have the power. Again, we talk about the tools and the power. No longer do we say, and I know, let me say this. I know that it is some issues that people have where they may have to go and, I know the doctors want to put everybody on drugs and things like that. But, and so I'm not going to dab into that part of it, but I'm trying to get us to the point where some of us know that we have deep rooted anger, and maybe we're coming out to the world like we're okay, but when we're in our private room, our private closet, you guys, and we know that it's something wrong, okay? And that's where we're trying to get to. We're trying to heal at that point and get to the core of what that anger is from, you guys. And I'm gonna go on, but I'm gonna tell you what some of mine was as we go on. So it says when we bottle up our emotions, okay? Because that's what we do. We bottle it up. And then what happens when we bottle up our emotions, okay? It's if you see an angry person, they blow up, okay? Because they may be trying to be strong or show it to everybody that everything's okay. But then what happens when that thing hits the roof? Okay, they blow up and go off. And that's what happened in my case. And people really didn't understand it. They thought I was crazy and really losing it, you guys. So I want to just let you know, I don't judge this. I'm telling you that I had an issue with it. I thought everything was okay. But okay, once I blew up and went off, like when, you really just let that thing come out, then a whole animal comes out of there, okay? And I say that as a joke, you guys, but this is not funny. This is something that we really want to work on. And we're still talking about mental illness. And mental illness is not just crazy and all those other things. Mental illness is just a sickness of the mind, that some of our bad habits, some of our bad thoughts, some of our childhood trauma, some of the things that we have just had inherited from our parents, and I see that, and that's why I relate to it so well, and that's why I want to be able to come out and share with some of you that before you go through that, so we can nip a lot of this in the bud, you guys, before our kids, because we want our kids to be happy. We want them not to grow up angry and be mad and like that. Okay, you guys. So it says, when we bottle up emotions, it becomes harder to think clearly, okay? Make rational decisions and resolve conflicts. And we talked about that. Releasing anger, whether through talking about it, journaling, engaging in activities that allow for emotional expression, frees up mental space, okay? And that's why we said we have a lot of things that we can do now. We can work out. We can, watch our food intake, because I do believe that has something to do with some of our triggers. And then also just talking out these things and knowing that we're not the only ones, because I think a lot of us isolate ourselves, you guys, because it's taboo. Nobody wants to come out and talk about it. Nobody wants to say that we're dealing with these problems and these issues and these stresses and these triggers that we have, and we have them, okay? All right, and I know they're in a lot of other communities, but it's a lot in our communities. Why? Because we deal with a lot of poverty, we deal with a lot of not joblessness, we deal with a lot of ailments, sicknesses, and different things, nutrition and different things, physical fitness and things like that. So those are, some of our stresses with that, okay? So it says allow for emotional expression. All right. This allows us to regain clarity, make better decisions, and foster healthier relationships with those around us. Okay. So number 3, it says preventing chronic stress and anxiety. And it says anger is chronic. Okay. If you are an angry person and you're angry, you wake up angry, you stay angry most of the time, they're considering this that you're not well. And I'm not saying that jokingly or nothing like that, but that's an issue, okay? It's a problem, okay? And so it's telling us right here. And not only is anger a problem mentally, sickness, but it also it's going to ail our bodies. Having festered anger builds up, in other words, like they say, high blood pressure. Who suffers from that? A lot of they talk about the angry black man or the angry black woman. And I don't like to keep just saying our race, because I know we all suffer from a lot of different things, the same things, but I'm just saying that these are problems that we have, okay? It says unresolved anger often simmers beneath the surface, okay? Creating tension in the mind and body, okay? When we don't find ways to release this anger, it can manifest as chronic stress, okay? Which in turn leads to fatigue, burnout, and other psychological disorders, okay? And we know that's what will happen. A lot of times when you're angry or depressed or stressed, we tend to sleep a lot, okay? And then they call it fatigue. And then what else do? We just get burnt out. We just, it keeps us stagnant. Like we don't want to give anymore. We do what we got to do, but then that we don't really want to deal with it any more of it, okay? And we want to thrive in life. We don't want to just be surviving in life. Okay. So anger is a way of just, it's not good. Okay. We just got to keep it real. If we're angry all the time, that's a problem. It's an issue. Okay. So by actively letting go of anger, we reduce the emotional load we carry, because it's a load. It's like a weight. It's a weight on our shoulders that we carry, which helps decrease stress levels and create a more peaceful mental state. Okay. Number 4, anger can create distance in our relationships. How many know if you're in a relationship, and like I said, I like to use marriage. Okay. And I'm going to use kids too. If you're married and you got an angry partner, okay, and you got to deal with this, it's distance, because you don't even want, especially if you're a person of peace and you don't want a war like that, you're dealing with that anger. You want to distance yourself from that. So that's going to cause problems, and that's why we have a lot of problems with divorce and different things like that. And when it comes to our kids, how many of us know? I understand it. I told you my daughter has 3 kids under 5, okay? And I know she's angry a lot and she's frustrated. You know why? Because it's a lot. I'm sure it is. Okay. But that's when we have to get self-care, and we have to do get our mental right, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to put that anger off on our kids. Ask me how I know. Because I had angry kids. You know why? Because I was an unhappy mother. I was an angry mother, and I took that anger out on my kids. Now, did I beat them or whoop them? No, I didn't. But I wasn't able to be nurturing as I wanted. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I felt like I wanted a do-over, because I felt like I am a loving, nurturing mother, and I wanted to be that for my kids. I really did. And I think that's why a lot of us want to do that with our grandkids now, because I feel like that's God's way of giving us a do-over, because we were able to do the things that we want wanted to do before with our kids. I wanted to be a loving mother, you guys. That was my heart's desire. That's what's in me, and that's what's in most of you. We don't want to be angry, but I understand the frustrations that we have. But hopefully we can get past some of this where we don't continue to build that down from generation to generation. But we're going to stop here, you guys, and we'll come back with part 3. Okay?